Okay, as I said, this takes a bit of thinking, and we did arrive at this answer over here, and I did that at the whiteboard. I always say that after I think through something, I wonder, am I really right about that? So what I do is I typically try to, either get feedback from something. It'd be nice to have people around, but typically people are not too interested in these types of problems. So I ask a machine, and that's what I want to go to now. So what I'm going to do in the machine is I'll do this over here. My take in this problem is this is r equals 3 minus the sine, I'm sorry, 3 minus theta, and I'm saying that the leaf, which again is this portion over here, just this thing over here, this is the leaf, occurs between those two numbers. And I use a variety of software, and the software I want to talk about now is Wolfram Alpha. And I'll go to that, and I'll explain what I did in Wolfram Alpha. So in Wolfram Alpha, what I did was I typed in plot r equals 3 minus theta. That's what we're trying to graph out. And I said, just graph it between what I thought was the leaf. And if you remember what I thought the leaf was, let me just shrink this window down a little bit. Let me scroll down over here. I said between 6 minus pi over 2. This is the theta's there, and 6 plus pi over 2. And I asked it to graph it, and what does it do? It says it's going to plot it. It's saying that to me. Tell me what it's doing. It tells me how to interpret my statement up here, and it says for theta between those two numbers. And what does it do? Graphs it out. Now, granted, I would play around with this now. Certainly, you've seen something. You might want to change these parameters around and say, what if I did minus 10 to 10? And you can get a different picture. Let's take a look at what it does. You see this over here. And it's kind of interesting. If you remember, I said something about between 3 and pi, that this thing would be below the x-axis. Let me do that. So between 3 and pi, and again, if you're watching the videos, you'll know I mentioned this as being a region that goes below the x-axis. Let's take a look at it. And what notice over there? I see the region, although, it's sort of like, zoomed into it, I do see the region below the x-axis over here. And again, you could play around with this as much as you like. I will say there's one disadvantage of Wolfram Alpha. Eventually they're going to start to ask you, buy this, buy that. It's a good product. I'm not saying it's not, but experiment with different types of software. So certainly throughout my notes, I talk about Mathematica, Wolfram Alpha, and I talk about Sage. There's certainly other applications out there that you might be using. Get comfortable with something though. You want to be comfortable with using software. I don't care what it is, some software that you find easy to use. I will say this though, a lot of students like Desmos. I really don't use Desmos that much, but I'll be honest with you, when I see demos on it, Desmos looks like a really nice product, by the way. Thank you.